Hello and welcome to the Fork Monarchs preview show. Myself, Graham Munsey, joined by Dave Harley, as once again, take two, Dave. We look ahead to a playoff quarter-final clash at Armadale and a visit of the Redcar Bears. Dave, since we spoke last week, of course, the first leg has been run in a pretty resounding victory for the Monarchs by 12 points, 51-39, down at Teesside on Sunday. So for most, they would say that's 1 foot in the semi-finals, but there can be no complacency and there's still a job to do on Friday night.
Yeah, a fantastic performance at Redcar on Sundays. Set us up in that brilliant position, but we know from this season there's nothing we can take for granted at Armadale, and you never know. I mean, Redcar were badly hampered by Pam Toth being injured.
Yeah,
we've still got 3 guys in the playoff for the Premiership tomorrow, and you never really know what's going to happen or what's around the corner, but assuming nothing untoward, you would like to think at home with our guys going well and all 6 riders available. I don't know about Anders yet, but hopefully we should be enough, and that should be enough to get us through to that semi-final.
Yeah, as you mentioned there, I guess it kind of takes the pressure off Redcar, doesn't it? They've nothing to lose now. So the first leg results went against them. They know, if they can't overturn that on Friday, then that's their season over as regards a team. I think they have announced they're going to run an individual match at Redcar before the end of the season, but it's the Bears' season over. So all they can go out and try and peg the Monarchs back. From the Monarchs' point of view, it's just a case of almost, I would say, ignore the first leg score. Go out as if you need to win the meeting. There's, it's the same in any sport in a two-legged. There's no point going out and trying to contain or going out and try and just tick points off. Go out, try and win those races, get a nice big early lead and put the tie to bed as soon as possible.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they have got guys that are capable of scoring well at Armadale. So
yeah,
Redcar winning was never out of the equation. In fact, we probably said that last week, that we could have lost on Friday and went and won on Sunday. So that's still a possibility. And as you say, we've all got to be ready to go and do their job. And speedway racing, you kind of go into that first corner half thinking, just going to go for 3rd place here. You've got to go in it to win it. And maybe when you're in second laps, things like that, you might say, right, we'll take our 3rd place. But like you go in for Friday night, let's set down a marker. Pool are still pondering who to select.
Yeah,
I don't know if it'd be good if Pool select us or not. I'm not sure either way what would be better for us, but I'm sure our 2 victories away from home has got them thinking. So if we go and set a marker on Friday, that'll give them another thing to think about.
Yep, definitely. As we say, we're waiting on decisions. I see Pool have announced that they will run their home leg next Wednesday, albeit they've not decided against who yet. So do keep an eye across British Speedway social media for any updates on fixtures for that. But Dave, as we sit here recording on Wednesday evening, the 2 teams, there's still a couple of question marks in and around the teams. We are waiting to hear on the fitness of Anders Rowe for the Monarchs. Obviously, he suffered a recurrence of that knee injury at Birmingham. And Redcar still waiting to find out if Michael Pam Toth will be available. Of course, he suffered, was it 2 broken fingers? Or certainly 1 broken finger and maybe a broken bone in his hand in that crash at Wolverhampton on Eurosport in the Premiership playoffs the other week. And it's fair to say, if you're putting a Redcar cap on, they would probably point to that rider replacement last Sunday. 2 points for Michael Pam Toth. On a bad night, he scores 7 or 8. But the flip side of that, the Monarchs could point to a little bit of misfortune on their own. Jason Edwards was winning Heat 8 when he grinds to a halt. And, a little bit of a contentious decision when Richie Worrell was disqualified when him and James Sargent came together. So these things, over the course of a season, they balance themselves out. And I guess for Redcar, it's just a little bit unfortunate that they come playoff time when you want everyone fit and firing, they were missing one of their key men.
Yeah, the timing couldn't be worse. And with Pam Toth 4th in their averages, he could easily be number 1 in their averages on another month. And it's just terrible. I mean, it's similar injury to what Richie had earlier in the season, and we know how that nearly derailed us in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we're now in that position where we've come back stronger, and Richie looking really good in his Premiership playoff as well, and back to top form. So that's good, and we can only take care of our side of the pits. As you say, Redcar will go there with a free hit trying to do something, but I'm sure we've got enough there. And does little bit of reliance on Drew Kemp if Anders can't make it with a rider replacement, and he was absolutely fantastic on Sunday at Redcar with seven races, and we know he's shown he can do the Armadale, even though he's still only had 2 or 3 meetings, I think, maybe
2 matches.
I think it was, yeah. And so we'll need that. And Jason Edwards, who actually was very, very good on Sunday as well. So if he's needed to take an extra ride or two, he is more than capable. And he showed in Heat 8 that he was capable of winning races. Unfortunately, his bike decided not to make it to the end of the race. But that's a good choice, I guess, for Nathan. And hopefully Anders is okay. But I think we've got the cover there if he's not.
Yep, and you mentioned, probably needs a special mention for Edwards' efforts at Redcar. I don't think I've ever seen anyone ride better for 1 point on my puff, Dave.
You've said that 2 or 3 times this season, but I think you're spot on this week. That's for me.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
He put the bike in the right positions. The bike failed on him in Heat 8 when he was winning. He was a little bit unfortunate. He had a few of the tougher rides, the way the reserve switches and rider replacement rides went against him and stuff. But on effort, and it'd be good to see him there. And as you mentioned, Dave, there's a job to do to get through, first and foremost. But secondly, putting that marker down is maybe the key word. We'll hear from Josh Pickering in a little bit, and I asked him about that. But the Monarchs' home form this season, surprisingly, has been pretty poor in comparison to most years. Normally, we make Armadale a fortress, and in any 2-legged affair, teams would always think twice about picking Edinburgh because they knew that they wouldn't have it easy at Armadale this year. I actually think it was Scott Somerville that put a stat up that the Monarchs have hit 57 times this year, and 4 of them have been away. Only 3 times have we hit 50 at Armadale this year, which is fairly remarkable. So we had that big score against Birmingham in our last home fixture, albeit it was probably 4 weeks since that by the time we get to tape Heat 1 on Friday, due to the Devils matches and the rain off. But if the Monarchs could put a 55, a 56, and it won't be easy. Redcar are a very, very good team. But if they could put something like that down, then you start wondering, you mentioned Poole have to pick. There's only one team in the league that got a point at Wimborne Road this year, and that was the Monarchs. And yes, Poole won very comfortably at Armadale, but they caught us probably at our weakest. So a reverse of that, there's not going to be any easy matches, Dave. It's a playoffs. By the time you get now, it's the best 6. By the time we're talking next week, it'll be the best 4 teams left. By the time, hopefully, we're talking the week after, it'll be the best 2 teams left, and hopefully the week after that, we'll be talking about the best team, and we'll need to add another star onto the mascot. But that's a long way to go before that. And I'm not getting anywhere near ahead of myself. Every match has got to be taken as it comes, but we could start with a real big performance on Friday.
Definitely, yeah. I think both said it now. It's the time for making mistakes and giving points away and having races that are poor. Heat 8 and Heat 2 have been poor all season, but and that's got to stop at home. As you say, our home form hasn't been brilliant, but remarkably our away form has been, apart from 1 or 2 exceptions, has been excellent. So any team in the league, I don't think they necessarily want to pick us, but it's going to be a difficult pick regardless. The 6 teams that are left are all capable of winning. We've seen Leicester win at Scunthorpe. We've now won at Birmingham and Redcar in the last 2 weeks, and Poole are sitting there waiting. And of course, Glasgow, we're now going there on Sunday as well.
Yeah,
I'm sure they are, as per normal, they'll be practicing and doing everything they can to try and get in amongst the silverware that they've been craving since the new owners came in.
Yep, that's it. It's a very open title race. Poole, of course, we're comfortably top of the tree, and they are still favourites in my eyes, but there's no easy matches in the playoffs. And one man who's very aware of that, but is raring to go and thinks the Monarchs can go as far as they want, is Josh Pickering. I caught up with him in the pits after that match on Sunday at Redcar. So Josh, any 2-legged affair, I guess the first leg is all about keeping it tight, but a 12-point win for the Monarchs on the day. Nothing taken for granted, but it's probably 1 foot in the semi-final.
Yeah, mate, I come here with every intention to win. All the boys got that same mentality. When we come here at the start of the year, yes, it was for first meeting for Redcar as well, but they've got a couple of little new riders, but I think they had a bit more track time. Like, we didn't get a press day, nothing, Kai was obviously new to British Speedway. In his first one, he got that 1 point, which equalled his first time here. He then built on that, and he ended up getting a heat win in heat 12, which is his heat to win. Done exactly what we need to do. Sam copped a hit on the night, which obviously he's in a bit of all sorts, and then his engine blew up. So it's one of them nights for him where he just had to keep just firing back up and keep going again as he does, and that's what we need him here for, and that's why he's our captain, because he just keeps putting in. And for me tonight, I was just focused on winning races. Like that's my job now in this team, and I need to score as much points as possible. And yeah, heat 15 showed that. It was pretty cool. I got a good start, and Charles was coming round. I didn't even think Jake would get, I thought Sam would deal with Jake on the inside, but he's got a great run. As I was going up the back straight, I sort of seen Sam, then I seen Jake, and I thought I'll just go for it. And then, Sam snuck up the inside of Jake, which pushed him wide, and then Sam was mid-track, Jake was wide, and then I only had the option to go on the boards, so I, touch wood, I made it work, and it's a great result for the team, and many thanks to the travelling supporters for coming down and supporting us.
And obviously, all the teams left at these stage of competitions are good teams, but that's 2 double-digit away wins on the trot. These are statements of intent in the business end of the season.
We're here to win, mate. It's simple as that. When we verse Poole at home, like Richie's unbelievable around Edinburgh, and without having him in there and having to do rider replacement, we only got 6 or 7 points, and that's not good enough. And I don't think I can't even remember what I scored, but I feel like I always do better, and I feel even if whoever we get in the playoffs, whether it be Glasgow, Leicester or Poole, we're in it to win it. So I think home and away, we're going to be very, very strong.
A special mention for Drew at reserve as well, 13 points. If you're going to put a big win on, you need scoring all the way down the line, and to get that from reserve's fantastic.
Oh, unbelievable, mate. That's obviously how the team was built this year. No disrespect to the boys, but we could only do what we could do, and we went with the 3 strong hitters, myself, Sam and Richie, and then hopefully Kai to do what he's doing, which is just unbelievable for his first season. Like you can't ask any more for him, which makes the bottom end a bit weaker, but obviously Speedway's a numbers game, and numbers went into our favour for once, and it was great to bring in Drew and Anders, and just having Jason here today as well. Like, he had a bit of bad luck, mate, but he's making unreal starts. He was quick, he was leading races. Like, you can't ask for any more than that. Like, he's going unbelievable, and that is the difference. Like, I don't know what Jason got, but if Drew got 13, he would have got a few as well, and that difference at the bottom, that's what made us win tonight.
And we've spoken all season about how good the feeling is in the pits. A few team changes, but that spurt's still there. We see, Sam has the fall, you look round into the pits, and there's 6 guys working on his bike to get it ready for the rerun. It's playoff time. Everyone steps up a gear, but this isn't a team of 7 riders. It's a team of 20 guys, including all the mechanics, the management. Everyone's going in the same direction.
We're all here. We're all wanting to win, and it's great to have the mechanics, as you said. When a rider is struggling, and we're never ever going to have a mechanic not stuck for time, so it's great to have the people we have here, and it was a great result for the team.
So Dave, a pretty bullish Josh Pickering there. He knows his job's to win races, and boy did he do it on Sunday, and we'll take a repeat of that on Friday. If you want to see how the Monarchs get on, of course, we say every week, Dave, Friday night is Speedway night at Armadale, 7:30 tapes up. You can get your tickets now. EdinburghMonarchs.co.uk and click on the tickets link. I'll put my teeth in before trying that one again. Or if you can't make it and you're 25 miles away, the match is available on live stream. EMTV is the link you want to click on that Monarchs website there also. And of course, if you do want to pay by cash, you can do that just by going to the little hut next to the entrance gates on Friday night, get your tickets and then join the main queue. But I would always say, Dave, get your tickets early. It's a little bit cheaper. It saves you the hassle of queuing twice, and you're in. There's no mucking about, you need to find cash on Friday night or anything. You're in, you're ready to go. So I would always suggest get your tickets nice and early and come along to what is the first playoff meeting at Armadale in 2017, the last one, so in 4 years.
Yeah, you said that last week. It's big time racing. It's what we've become used to, the Edinburgh supporters over the years, but we need to make sure we're there and at it. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Get your tickets in early, and of course, if you did buy a ticket for last week, you'll be able to reuse it this week or any other match for the season, or I'd like myself, you've topped up your gold card to get there. I'll be able to use that gold card again this week. So get in there, get that ordered, get the stream. It's going to be some cracking races with the Riders Redcar I've got and the Monarchs there. You know, they've got a free hit at it. They won't be thinking they're out of it. You know, they know they've got a big challenge on, but they'll be desperate to show they're better than what happened on Sunday.
Yep. So basically, and what Dave's saying in not so many words is there's no excuse. There's no excuse not to be there. If you do have an excuse not to be there, there's no excuse not to pick up the stream and watch along with us from there. And Dave, as you mentioned, we'll be looking for a good night of racing. If we see some heats like we're going to see now, we'll delve into Mike Hunter's blast from the past and a classic heat from a Bears visit before, and more of the same on Friday, please.
Gate 11, Gary Havelock, Gate 1, Matthew Weathers, Gate 2, Josh Hottie, Gate 3, and Derek Snedden on Gate 4. Snedden's away well, and he's right over there to try and block out Havelock, and Weathers has come through as well. Astounding first turn by the Monarchs pair. Snedden and Weathers lead the way, and it's Hottie who's in third, trying a big blast round the outside. Impressive, the Monarchs pair can't afford to go too slow. There's a danger of it. Havelock's in the picture as well. Hottie's gone for the big blast. He can't quite get around there. Weathers doing a beautiful job so far, but can he hold it? He's in trouble here. Hottie's alongside him. Snedden from Weathers. This is a cracker. Once again, Hottie goes on that outside blast. Weathers stays so cool in these situations. Here's Hottie again. Almost round the outside of Weathers there. He's going for that blast again. What a tremendous effort by Hottie. He got second. It was a sensational race. Havelock at the back because they just couldn't find anywhere to go. Hottie got second with a really tenacious and brilliant ride. Matthew Weathers will be disappointed because he missed out on the paid win he deserved, but it's a crucial heat advantage for the Monarchs.
Well, Dave, more of the same kind of action there. Hopefully on Friday, albeit a slightly more successful effort at team riding if need be. We know our boys are capable of that. But you know what, Dave? We say every week, we're pretty much ready to go, so we'll do our one last final push, as we say. Get your tickets now, edinburghmonarchs.co.uk/tickets. If you can't make it along, pick up that stream. EMTV is the link you want to click for that. And Dave, Friday night, playoff Speedway night at Armadale. We'll hopefully see as many there. And until we're back with the Friday Focus, thanks very much for watching and goodbye.